share, recording in progress, and then we will share on Facebook. So, public, go live. Okay,
Claudia,
so I
you're
think
our tech magician today.
I'm dropping. I'm a juggler today.
Good,
Hopefully not
that's
dropping.
good too.
So I think we are live now and recording and on Facebook, hopefully. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here this evening, Wednesday evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to my kitchen in the Seattle area. My name is Claudia Ochoa. I'm a team leader for Washington State and some of the Pacific Northwest. And I have the privilege of joining two friends that are way down in SoCal, wonderful consultants, great cooks, who want to share with you delicious recipes, nutritious, healthy, vibrantly green, because St. Patrick's Day is coming. So without further ado, let me introduce you. And we have with us Taina. Let me spotlight you for a second. And hello, Taina, how are you?
Hi. Yeah, you said I'm a great cook. In fact, I'm a cooking zero. But thanks to the Thermomix, I'm a cooking hero. And
Yes.
in that case, I am the worst case scenario or the best case scenario when it comes to a culinary transformation. I can really say that before the Thermomix, I did not enjoy cooking at all. And now I'm just running through the culinary castle, opening every door. And every week I have a ta-da moment. So I'm always thrilled to share that with you. So my name is Taina. I'm here in Los Angeles. I'm originally from Germany. I'm Germanican now. And I've been using the Thermomix for almost 8 years. So I'm one of the pioneers. And have a website called Thermomix. I also have a YouTube channel. So if you look for Cook I Do tutorials, that's all there. And I'm excited to cook with you. And I'm more excited to hear from you, your questions, your experiences, your recipes, because this is really a melting pot community. And it is so wonderful to hear all of the dishes that are being cooked by the different nationalities. So I'm very excited to share with you my risotto, and Natalia pronounces that so much nicer than I do. But Claudia will, Natalia will start out with a green salad and another Italian dish, and then you'll join me in my kitchen again for the risotto.
That's correct. Thank you, Taina. So now off we go to Irvine, California with Natalia. Hello, Natalia. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Taina. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm here in Irvine, California, and it's sunny here too. So it looks pretty nice outside. I come from Switzerland, the Italian part of Switzerland. That's where I grew up. I've been here in America for over 20 years. It goes by very fast. I have 3 kids, and I've been using my Thermomix for over 4.5 years. I actually used to own a Thermomix when I was a kid in Italy. I used to have this one, or in Switzerland, actually. But yeah, my mom bought it at a cooking demonstration in Italy, and then we brought it over across borders to Switzerland, and we used it for many years. Anyway, that's
Claudia,
about me.
Can you check again on Facebook?
I was about to say the same.
Yeah,
I don't think I can see it either. Yes, I don't see it either.
It says here that I'm live. Wait. I am live and it is public now. So go ahead.
Oh, okay.
And you should be able, Yes, and in the
Let's see if
meantime,
we
while
have-
you guys do that, so let me give everyone, while you guys complete doing that, let me give everyone a kind reminder, well, 2 kind reminders, to please stay muted so that we can hear properly our presenters, and to please ask any and all questions you may have. Just type them in the chat. I'll be going through them. We'll be happy to answer any questions, any ideas that you have. Just type them in the chat, and I will make sure to go through them, okay? Thank you. So back we go to you, Natalia.
Perfect.
And we are ready to start cooking.
So we're back in Irvine. I'm making one quick recipe, and one is a little longer, but not too long. It's actually very quick. The first one, it's a creamy broccoli salad that I've been doing the past couple of weeks, and I really like it. It's very refreshing, and I've been doing it a cooking demo, and guests, everybody loved it. So I figured I'll do it tonight. It's healthy. It has broccoli, it has cabbage, it has red peppers, and a few other things. So you probably already know how to get to the recipe. So I already selected it and put it in my week. What I want to do now, it's changing the serving size. You cannot probably see very well my screen, but there is down here to the right, there is an arrow and it says serving size 4. I'm going to change it to 6. And that you can do on your phone and you can plan it like that. But I saved it as 4 and I decided later on that I wanted to do 6. So let's apply 6. And now I have more ingredients. So I'm going to cook for 6. So let's start cooking. The first part is to put 10.5 ounces of broccoli, and always make sure your scale is tiered, so it's at 0 every time you touch it. So I'm just putting fresh broccoli, uncooked, raw. Okay, that's it. And then I have 7.5 ounces of red cabbage, and it's just cut in 2-inch pieces. I'm just going to put this in. The next step is 3 ounces of onions, red onions. That's it here. Of course, I've pre-measured everything today so that for the cooking class, it goes a little faster.
It helps a little bit.
It helps, yes. 3 ounces of red peppers. That's it. It's pretty full. So I really have the full bowl right now. And the next step is really just to chop it. So I'm putting the top. And here it is next. And it's going to go for 20 seconds at speed 4.
Okay. So that full bowl in just 20 seconds is going to be transformed into these tiny, lovely little pieces where it's all going to be combined. Instead of us just chopping by hand, taking a lot of time, wasting a lot of kitchen counter space, it's all in the one mixing bowl, getting combined and getting chopped in little pieces together. So very convenient. We love our chopped salads with our Thermomix.
Exactly. We do really love those chopped salads. Here you go. Oh, wow. You see how perfectly chopped everything is. And it's still a lot of salad. Maybe I should have stayed with 4, but I'm sure I can take it to work tomorrow and show it to my colleagues and make them jealous. Some might be on Facebook right now and watching me. So here you go. So this is, I really like the color. I'm going to show it to you in a few seconds. Sorry, the bowl is facing me and not facing the camera, but
that's okay.
I have to do what I have to do. Here you go. I'm going to clean it a little more because the next step is to make the sauce. And it doesn't have to be clean, the bowl, but of course, it emulsifies better if it's almost empty. Here you go. I'm putting the bowl back, and this is the salad.
Beautiful.
Just chopped. It smells nice too, actually. Next, it's 6 ounces of plain yogurt. Let me grab a spoon. Just have a regular yogurt. If my husband were here, but he's traveling, I would use our homemade yogurt, which is lactose free. I make every other week, every 2 weeks maybe, from lactose free milk, a carton of lactose free milk. I make homemade yogurt with a vegan starter, so we don't have the dairy in it. I mean, not the dairy, the lactose. And that worked perfectly. It works perfectly for a lot of recipes, and just even granola in the morning or whatever you want to eat it with.
I didn't know, Natalia, because I make my own. I also, with the Thermomix, I make my yogurt every other week. But I didn't know that you could actually use lactose free, and it works just fine. It's thick enough and everything.
Yes, it does. If you go on my Facebook account, you can see some pictures I posted a few times. The good thing is that it's not that I do it in the varoma, I do it in the bowl itself. So it's a lot of yogurt. It's really like 3 big containers. That's why they last a week, 2 weeks. And I cook it in here with the vegan starter. So it's perfect. It's not a fat yogurt. You can use the lactose free. I actually do use the lactose free whole milk. but it's still lactose free and it's perfect for us. So that's definitely.
We can share actually with everybody who's joining us today and those who registered those links for the vegan starter as well. Probably,
okay.
I'd like to get my hands on that.
If I see it, I hope I still have one, because I know I ran out, but I think I still have one. 1.5 ounces of extra virgin olive oil. It's 5, 6, 7, 1 ounce. Sorry, it's going slowly. Okay. And then it's just lemon juice, freshly squeezed lemon juice. And that's 1.5 ounces. Okay. And then a little bit of salt and pepper. Again, if my husband were here, I wouldn't use salt. He doesn't eat salt. So which is fine. Everything tastes fine without the salt. Pepper, salt, and that's it. Now we're just emulsifying for 15 seconds, speed 7.
Okay. So remind me again, you have extra virgin olive oil, you have yogurt, and what else did I miss? A little bit of salt, and what else do we have extra? Remind me.
Yeah, there's salt, pepper, 4 ingredients. I counted.
Just 4 ingredients, right?
Yeah,
I'm not missing anything. Just the salt
I think
and pepper.
so. And actually, the recipe, but I'll do it after when Taina is cooking. It says to put an avocado and a half, just slice it and put it over the salad.
Okay.
But I'll do that after. And this is, you see how the dressing.
Very creamy.
Yeah. That's why it's called creamy broccoli salad.
Creamy broccoli salad, nice.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to do this after, because as I said, I'll finish it after. And right now, sorry, let me go quickly. I just wanted to start the next recipe.
Yeah.
And when it's cooking, I'll show you the end of the salad. It actually also has avocado, as I said, and slivered almond and chia seeds, which are at the bottom. I just put all of them. Yeah. So it's also healthy.
Okay,
it is healthy because it has a lot of greens, but that's it. That would be the salad. I'll show it when it's done. So I'll go back to my week, and now I start my other recipe, which is a little longer. It's an Italian recipe, so I am doing a recipe in Italian. We can show you, and most of you probably already know, but we can show you how to translate the recipe. And that opens up a lot of other culture, other recipes that you can do, and they're really yummy because, of course, every country has its own recipes. Some of them are in every country, but not all of them. So this is a very good recipe. All my Italian friends that own a Thermomix make it all the time. And I got a tip from one of my friend and customer that she makes it even more green by adding spinach. So that's it. It's gnocchi di ricotta al basilico. And it's ricotta, basically made dumplings, gnocchi. And it cooks with the steam of the tomato sauce. So I start cooking. The first part of the recipe says to put some olive oil on the varoma tray. So I already did that. And then it says to put some basil, fresh basil. And I have more because the tomato sauce will have also some basil. So I'm just putting a few. And it says to put 90 grams. So because it's in Italian, it's in grams. 90 grams of Parmigiano. And I actually like to, even when I make risotto, I like to use both Parmigiano and Pecorino. In this case, it's mainly Parmigiano, but I have a few chunks of Pecorino. And again, it's chunks. And just before I did this recipe, I actually grated some of this so that I have it after to pour over the gnocchi when they're cooked. Because this is part of the gnocchi, goes inside. Okay, 90 grams. And then the tip, I cannot forget that because otherwise I'm gonna mess up. This is not saying to put 90 grams, or it's not gonna be 90 grams, but let's measure. It's not saying to put spinach, but again, it's a tip that I have from a friend of mine. So it's basically, I didn't measure the weight, but it's really 2 handfuls. So I'm just gonna put in, 2 big handfuls.
Okay.
My friend actually uses, she says she uses the 5-ounce spinach bag. If it's full, she uses it all, or you can put less, you can put more. It's really just to give the green color and to hide the spinach in the food that you wouldn't know you're eating. So, oh, let's see, how much was it? In grams, it's about 120 grams. So I would say you can do the same amount of the Parmesan, same amount of Parmigiano, so you're quick with that. Okay, so now we're chopping this. It says 15 seconds. I'll start with 15 seconds at speed 10. I might do it a little longer because I have the spinach, but let's see how it goes first, okay? So 15 seconds, speed 10.
I love that it's, I love the combination of pecorino and Parmigiano. I think it brings an extra when you add pecorino to a dish, even if it's not asking for it. I believe it just amplifies the flavor. I don't know. I really like it, the combination. And I love this suggestion from your friend because you're making it even more healthy by adding that bunch of spinach.
And they look nice. They look greener. It's a perfect combination. So I think it's perfect like that. It doesn't need to go any further. So you see how
very nice and green
in those 15 seconds. So I'm going to use the spatula to make sure it all goes down. It's a little wetter than it would be if it's just Parmigiano because of the spinach being a little wet, but that's it. Okay. So the next part is to put the ricotta. So it says to strain the ricotta, so to get the liquid out. So there is a little more liquid now that I let it stay, but I put it in a strainer for half an hour earlier. I bought the Trader Joe ricotta. And it should be about 400 grams. Let me see. It might be a little less, but that's okay. Okay. Well, just barely less, so that's okay. 200 grams of flour, white flour. Okay. A little bit of salt. That's, all of this, it's, you can do or not do. The same, actually, nutmeg. Italian loves nutmeg in a lot of recipe, like gnocchi alla romana, which is a different semolina gnocchi, semolina dumplings, mashed potatoes and stuff, we put nutmeg. Of course, we could grate our own nutmeg, but I guess I have this one, so I'm going to use this one. So it's going to give, I love nutmeg. It's going to give a little bit of a touch of different taste. That's it. Now we're putting the top. And it's 20 seconds, speed 4.
Okay. I did not know that nutmeg was popular in Italian cuisine. That's one thing that I love about these kind of classes and events, because then we learned, even though I love Italian food, I never knew that nutmeg was so popular.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sometimes with the noise, the Zoom breaks me down. But I mean, I know we use nutmeg in a lot of recipe. I think we love it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a chef, like Taina said, but that's it. So here we go.
Beautiful.
The dough, the gnocchi dough is now green. Of course, it's and the next step, and that's when I'm going to work silently off camera or maybe on camera, depending how messy it is. I'm gonna form the little gnocchi. But basically what it says, usually you want to wet your hands a little bit, and then you just grab the dough and you make a little tiny ball. It says the size of a walnut, like when it's in a shell. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just gonna make the gnocchi, and before continuing, I will show them to you when they're made, and then we continue with the recipe. Okay.
Sounds like a plan. Yes, so we can
go. I'm gonna put myself on mute, and Taina, we can start her recipe.
Thank you. We'll come back to you so that we can see those gnocchi, okay, in a second.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. So let's go back now to Taina's kitchen. Hello again, Taina. Ready for a risotto?
Thanks for joining us. Now also on Facebook Live, ready for the risotto. And I'll try to pronounce this as Natalia would, risotto. Some people call it hot wet rice. I don't know if you know the video of the catering show, Australian catering show with the K, because it's two Ks. One cooks the risotto in the Thermomix, and the other one calls it hot wet rice and cooks it on the stove, and they compare notes. And it's hilarious. It's very politically incorrect. So I want to warn you, but it's definitely worthwhile seeing. So we're doing a green risotto with spinach, and Popeye would be so proud of us. This is Popeye's class today. And I pulled up the recipe, and I just wanted to show you a few tricks that some people may not know. You can always look at the ingredients and the preparation down here in the description. And also, if you want to jump ahead and jump to a step and you want to omit a few, you can always just jump to the step in the description. You do not have to start a recipe and press next, but you can jump if you wanted to the last step. So some recipes have an oil or like a herbal oil before the soup. So you can always skip the steps. And as Natalia already said, all of the recipes are totally customizable. You make it your recipe. And thank God with the Cook I Do, we now can create our own recipes. And we heard that you will be able to share a created recipe, which is very exciting. We also start with a Parmesan. 2 ounces here. And I will just grind the Parmesan. And I've been told that restaurants in Italy sometimes just have one Thermomix to do Parmesan all day, super fluffy. You don't need a food processor. You can just use the Thermomix. So 8 seconds, speed 10.
And nothing beats, the flavor and the aroma of freshly grated cheese. If you eat Parmesan or any other cheese, it just doesn't compare with buying that prepackaged stuff that's been already shredded who knows how long ago.
And my husband is not really a Thermomix user, but he can shred some Parmesan. That's the one time when he grabs it, he's like, oh, I need some freshly shredded Parmesan. And then he does it himself, and he's impressed every time. And I'm like, yeah, why don't you cook some other recipes with it? Yesterday he made cucumber salad. Yeah, yesterday he made a cucumber salad, and he was so impressed with himself, which is always nice. So we're adding spinach, 5 ounces. I also pre-weighed it. Another dish, if you like spinach, another dish that I can highly recommend are the Florentine meatballs, which are meatballs that have about 30% of spinach in them. And so they're green meatballs, and they're so juicy and delicious. They're served with linguine. It's such an amazing recipe that makes my kids very happy whenever I do them. So now we're chopping the spinach. Also on speed 10 for 15 seconds.
Okay. Those meatballs, Taina, are those the kind that are cooked in the varoma, or do you actually need to fry them? Yeah, they're cooked in the varoma. Okay. So even steam cooked, even healthier,
They're perfectly cooked, and they don't look like they're cooked, but they're perfectly cooked. And if you want them crispy, just throw them in an air fryer. Just throw them in a pan and sear them, if you like that crusty feel. But they're perfectly cooked. So you can make them in your bedroom if you wanted to. And just like Natalia here, nicely chopped spinach. And we're adding onions. A lot of recipes use shallots. Also, that's a nice flavor too. And the garlic cloves were already in here. And we're adding, of course, some butter. Everything tastes better with butter.
I agree.
And also some olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're adding some heat. For the first time, you're seeing, if you, oh no, first we're chopping and then we're adding heat.
Okay, just for a few seconds.
And I love the Thermomix because it tells me everything. So it even asks me to scrape down the content because we're going to be sauteing. So we want all of the ingredients on the bottom because that's where the heat is coming through. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
I spilled a little butter. Oh, it's nicely chopped.
Mm-hmm.
And it's asking me to put the simmering basket on top. I usually just put, if you have a TM6, you have this heat guard. Oh, help me. What's the official name of it?
Oh, the splash guard.
High heat splash guard, exactly. So I use this because it also lets out the steam, but it will not have you splatter the ingredients. And especially the dishes in the risotto, you want the steam to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for 4 minutes at 250, it will saute the ingredients. And the middle dial has the goal temperature at 250. And I don't know if you zoom in and if you can look a little closer, you will see the temperature rising slowly. So you will always know what temperature the bowl has, which is very helpful. Especially, for example, if you're preparing baby food, you can see exactly at what temperature the food is, and you can set a maximum temperature. So one of the few modes is a kettle, and you can, in that kettle mode, specifically choose an exact temperature, and your ingredients in the bowl will not be hotter than this temperature. So what can you do while it's cooking? Well, of course, you can unload the dishwasher and do some, not run errand. Well, you could. Thermomix will turn off after 15 minutes. And once you come back, you can turn it on and it will remember where you left off with your recipe. So you can just continue. One thing you can do is you can look at the recipe to see which other ingredients you need. And if you click on the 3 dots, it will give you the options to do preview, recipe detail. You can cancel the recipe and you can turn the scale on. So let's just say I look at the details of the recipe, like what else do I need? So you can scroll down. The ingredients are listed by order, which makes it very handy. So we have had here the olive oil. So next ingredient is the arborio rice, and it's 10 ounce. So we can weigh the ingredients while we're cooking, which is a great feature. So we can head over to the mode. There's 2 ways to get to the scale. So you head over to the mode and you choose the scale, and then you can tar your scale to 0. And then you can measure any ingredient into the bowl and you know exactly how much the spoon weighs, for example. So you can always utilize your Thermomix as a scale when you're cooking. So one way, as I showed you, is to get over to the modes. When you're in the recipe, as I mentioned, if you click on the 3 dots, you can turn on the scales right then and there. And I don't know if you already see, it's already starting to smell.
Yeah, we can see.
Deliciously, I may add. And so these are a few of the things you can do while it's cooking. What you can also do is you can access Cook-I-Do, our recipe portal that has, which number are we at now? 90,000?
Over 93,000 or
Over
95, was it?
93,000. Yeah. When we started, Cook-I-Do had 20,000 recipes.
Really?
So yes, so we have added so many languages, so many recipes, and the beautiful thing is it keeps on growing. And later on, because we only have 20 seconds, I'll show you how to access Cook-I-Do while you're cooking. So you are able to cook and plan your next meal at the same time in the Thermomix. Of course, you can use Cook-I-Do on the computer. You can use Cook-I-Do on your phone, on your iPad. It all feeds into the cloud. I highly recommend that you ask your family or household members to download Cook-I-Do, your partners, your children, and then the kids can create their own collections. They can create their own list and take some ownership in what recipes are being cooked in your house. So that is just a suggestion.
Yeah. Excellent. So we have a couple of questions in the chat, Taina. When you have a second, we can go through those. Yes. Okay, I don't want to interrupt. Course. Oh, should I go? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I can actually listen. I can listen and pour rice at the same time.
Okay, let's go ahead, multitask. So we have Cleo Di Girolamo. I'm sorry for butchering your last name, Cleo. Was saying that he or she, Cleo, must be she or he, I don't know. They made meatball Florentines and they were kind of mushy. Was that your experience as well? Mushy, not very appetizing looking.
I have to agree. They don't look beautiful. They don't. Well, there is more attractive meatballs. Yet when you serve them over the linguine with the tomato sauce that you use to cook the meatballs, then you don't really see them anymore. So it's some Thermomix dishes. Most of the Thermomix dishes, I have to say, taste even better than they look. And I dare you to do like a blind taste test. And you can always steam them longer. And then, as I said, if you prefer them crispy, then throw them just in the pan. But I hear what you are saying. Yes.
Okay, and the next question is Giselle Grabowski was asking us, if you could repeat what you mentioned about the splash guard, the benefits or the actual use of the splash guard, and why is it special or unique for the TM6?
Yes, so the splash guard is a fairly new accessory that was introduced for the TM6. And the TM6 has a high heat function, which the TM5 does not have. So it's a new feature of the a new feature of the Thermomix, let me say. And the splash guard is ideal because it locks in. So it keeps you safe from whatever ingredient is sauteing in the bowl. And it's high heat, so you may have some oil splatters. So the middle is closed. It means it protects you from the splashing. But here you have air vents, so the steam can escape. And I use this instead of the simmering basket, because many recipes are also designed for the TM5, and the TM5 does not have the splash guard. So you can use the simmering basket and you can use the splash guard on top.
Can I interrupt quickly? Sorry.
Yeah, yes. Go ahead.
Are you setting your rice for 3 minutes? Is that what happens now? To cook?
Yeah, let me just do the next step, and then we'll go back.
Perfect.
Yes, because I'm adding the best ingredient here. It's 2 ounces of white wine. And I don't know who else was at the Thermomixer 2017 in Napa Valley. It's always best if you pour yourself a little glass while you're cooking. It's even more fun that way.
Good for you.
And without the measuring cup, because now we want the steam to escape and it's not going to be so hot. Here at reverse, so if you do not know it yet, the Thermomix blade turns clockwise and counterclockwise. And for example, for the dough mode, it uses the clockwise and counterclockwise. Clockwise chops, and if it's counterclockwise, it just softly stirs. And if it's included in the recipe, you can see that the icon underneath the speed will change to an error, but you can click on it and it will switch to the blade icon, which is clockwise. But here it's just going to be a gentle stirring for 4 minutes. And I say cheers, and back to Natalia.
Okay, you enjoy your wine. Now let's go back to Natalia.
Thank you. I should get myself a glass of wine too.
Yes.
Here you go. I made the gnocchi.
Oh, they look amazing.
So it's just, they're a little sticky. Wow. So it's a little, it takes a little bit of patience to do them. And actually there were too many, so I added them here. But if you do the recipe with less people, it's going to be only on top. And also it's because I made them smaller than what they say. So, but that's a lot of gnocchi. So the next step, which is also a few minutes of sauteing like the risotto, a lot of recipe have that part. It's to put 30 grams of onions. Of course, I had to wash the mixing bowl because it has to be dry now. And what I suggest to do is actually using the cleaning mode because it's very sticky and there is a lot of leftovers. So a cleaning mode, like the short, quick cleaning mode function, it's perfect to get everything away. Okay, so that was just chopping. It will be 5 seconds, speed 5.
Okay.
And 5 seconds, speed 5 is a very good rule of thumb. If you just want to chop some onions, 5 seconds, speed 5, and they're done.
I agree. Absolutely. 5 and 5.
Sure. I forgot to wash the spatula. So I just need to, oops, sorry. That's again 5 seconds. So always you want to grab everything and push it down so that, because the next step is going to saute the onion like the risotto did earlier. And unlike Taina's husband, my husband does like to cook and he uses the Thermomix a lot. Like even just for oatmeal in the morning, it's very useful and quick and you don't need to keep stirring, but he does it. He uses it for soups, for a lot of the things. So
nice.
It's for everybody. Husbands can cook.
Yes.
He actually is he's a good cook even without Thermomix, but he loves to use Thermomix.
Of course.
Okay, so now 10 grams of olive oil. And then we will be sauteing like the risotto is doing. In this case, it's telling me to use the basket. So like Taina said, you can do either or. And that is 3 minutes with the heated component, 120 Celsius, speed 1. And now I guess Taina can get back. And then I have to do the tomato sauce and it will cook for 15 minutes. So I'll grab the attention back right away so that we can cook the gnocchi, okay?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Natalia. And they look beautiful. It's so green. I love the color. Thank you. Okay. So back we go to you, Taina.
One tip that I learned is whenever rolling the meatballs, for example, the Florentine meatballs and maybe the gnocchi, is if you're using plastic gloves, I feel it's much, much easier. But of course, then you have to throw them away. So easier, but maybe not more environmentally friendly.
I agree.
Claudia, do you want to share the promotion that we have?
We do have a promotion, yes. Yes, because we have actually a few of our guests are not Thermomix users yet. So I would be happy to do that. But before we do that, Taina, there's a few people asking about translations. So if you guys don't mind, I want to show you how to do that. It's very easy. Just let me share my Cook-I-Do.
And I can share my YouTube video that I made on translating recipe. I can send that out with the follow-up email.
Excellent. Okay, I love that. So this is going to be very easy and fast. So let me share quickly. Just let me know. Can you guys see
Can I
my
just
screen?
quickly, I'd like to quickly add my water and vegetable paste.
Of course, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so we have 25 ounces of water or vegetable paste. And of course, this is made in the Thermomix. And here's a little tip. I use a lot of broccoli stalks, right?
Oh.
Stock, that's how it's called. And I freeze them. And whenever I'm low on the vegetable stock, I take them out and let them defrost. And then I use the broccoli stalks to make the paste. So I'm reusing, and they're so nutritious, and you're just not throwing them away. And I'm also adding some salt and pepper, even though the recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm German, so I like it salty. And I'm just adding the lid back on and the splash guard. And there you go. So there's 8 minutes.
Okay. Excellent. So in those 8 minutes, let me go. Yes, Giselle wants to get a hold of your YouTube video. So I guess we will, either Natalia or Taina will send out an email with, again, all the links to the recipes and that video as well, so that you guys can watch it. But for now, let me quickly show you how I do it. Yeah.
Claudia, sorry.
Yes.
Can I continue quickly, because then it's 15 minutes and it's better to have it started right now. Sorry. We're going back and forth, but that's why we're cooking from 3 different kitchens or 2 different kitchens.
Go ahead, go right ahead.
You can see, of course, the steam and smell the sauteed onions, which is really nice. The next step is actually to put tomato sauce. You can, I just bought this one for now, but you can use crushed tomatoes or any type of tomatoes. If you do use whole tomatoes or crushed tomato in a can, just make sure that maybe you blend it. If you prefer it blended at the end, I think it's better because it's a sauce that you pour over the gnocchi. So it's 400 grams of tomato paste. Okay, which is almost the whole container here.
The whole bottle.
Yes. Okay, and then it asks actually for a little bit of water. Not sure why, but it's to make it a little more liquidy. So it's 70 grams of water.
Okay.
Just putting that in. And then really a little bit of salt and pepper again. Okay. And then pepper, and then some basil so that the sauce also has a little bit of taste. I'm just putting the whole thing. And that's it. Now it's cooking. So after that, we can answer questions and everything. So 15 minutes. Sorry, 15 minutes. Varoma heating, highest temperature, to speed 1. That's it. Thank you.
And Natalia, we have a question for you. Ines Edwards is asking, how did you form the gnocchi? Because we didn't see you actually do. Can you make like a pretend for us so that we can,
I wet my hands with some water, and then I just grab a little bit of dough, and it's very sticky, and you will lose a lot, unfortunately. I did it a little fast because I didn't want to waste too much time, but what maybe would be easier is to pour it in a container and then do it from there, because it's a little more difficult to grab it from the bowl. So while you're doing that, you can actually pre-clean the bowl, which is saving time. But basically just wet your hands a little bit and then just grab a little bit and roll it, and then you put it down. It's very easy. It's just a little messy. And I did use the plastic gloves one time in a cooking class, and it was messy too. But it's fine. It's just because they're very soft and they're really good tender. I mean, tender is for meat in Italian, we would say that word, but that's why they're so sticky.
Okay, so make just tiny little balls. There doesn't have to be a specific shape or anything, just.
No, and to be honest, I can show it to you. You could make them really, I should have made them really like smooth, but I was rushing. So it's just a little tiny balls. And the one at the bottom that I added, they're a little bigger. So it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
They're
All
going to be
about
covered
the
in the sauce.
flavor. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
Yes,
they'll be
it's all
covered in the
about the
sauce
flavor.
anyway. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Giselle. She's saying soft, tender, delicious, and sticky. But that's the way they are. Yeah. Thank you. Okay,
Yes,
guys.
thank
So
you.
if you will allow me now, I do want to share how to translate because I don't want to leave the class without showing that. So let me go back. Can you guys see my Cook-I-Do screen?
Yes. Perfect.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so I have, I'm gonna do a blank search. Just, I won't type anything, just a blank search. And I don't have any filters, as you can see. So, Taina, there is 98,944
Oh my
results.
God,
98,000.
almost at
We're
100,000.
almost at 100,000, yes. And as you can see, so many different languages. I lost track. I knew there were over
I think about
21
20.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21, 22, but so many of them. So what you guys are seeing is my my computer, you know, Cook-I-Do from the browser in my computer. So you guys can do Google Chrome. I use Edge. You can do Safari if you have an Apple computer. It doesn't matter. So I will choose whichever. So this one's, for instance, this one is a German one. And because I have a translator app already embedded on the browser, it automatically translates for me from German to English. Okay, so I don't even have to do anything about it. But let me choose a language that is not as popular as French, as German or French. Let me find maybe, let me see, what is this? Yes, Marley, I don't know what language this is. I have no
No
idea.
idea.
No idea. So, but it doesn't matter if I don't know the language because I'm using my laptop. I can just right click and a pop-up this screen will show and I'll be prompted to translate to English. So if I click translate to English, right away, I have it translated. Yeah, it's that easy. When you're doing it from your, from the browser in your laptop or tablet. Just know that Cook-I-Do, the app of Cook-I-Do does not have the ability to translate. But as long as you're using your
Yet.
laptop computer,
Maybe soon.
yet. We are keeping our fingers crossed, but as of today, it cannot translate, but it's very easy. Again, just go to your computer, your laptop, your iPad, um, click on the recipe that you want to translate, and here. So this one is in Italian, and I'm being asked if I want to translate. I will say yes, I want to translate. So now I have it in English, and what I will do is I will have my laptop next to my, or my iPad next to my TN6, and I will just be following the steps. The TN6 screen will be in Italian, you know, or French or German or Chinese, whatever is the original language, but I will have my translation next to it and it will be very easy to follow. Yeah, so please go ahead and try that. And I'm sure you have other ways, Taina, different than mine.
Well, you can do it this way. I feel that is the fastest way of translating recipes. You can create your own with the translation. And that's what I feature in my YouTube video, where you can choose any recipe that's on Cook-I-Do. And you basically translate it, and then you also create a recipe, and that assures that you will have the English instructions on your Thermomix when you're cooking. It's a little extra step, but I feel well worth it if you're cooking a recipe more often. Ding, 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 ding. So you can do that. So there's different ways of translating, and as Claudia said, not yet. So hopefully, it's all software, it's all figure outable. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to just say translate to English and display in English. But until then, we're able to do this this workaround, which I think is already amazing. And I can continue with my recipe. I'm adding some more greens, some frozen peas. There's also really great pea recipes, so many good soups where all you need is frozen peas and some potatoes. So all ingredients that you have in your house. So we're just adding the frozen peas and we're adding the splash guard and the lid on. And then I have another 4 minutes.
Okay, and I'm only answering some questions in the chat about translation. So yeah, again, just use whatever browser you feel comfortable with, Chrome, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, whatever. It will give you the option. Most computers, most operating systems now have the ability to translate.
And I wanted to show you a little feature that is fairly new, that is quite fun. So while you're cooking, if you want to be entertained, you can go to your home screen and swipe to the right to get to Cook I Do. And and so many people just use the search function, but there's so many treasures hidden like on the bottom. So do yourself a favor and scroll down. There's spotlighted recipes, there's the new collections. But what I feel is so helpful is now there is little videos on all of the modes that you will find on the TM6. So you can do that in your Cook I Do, and you can do it straight here on the Thermomix. And here it highlights all of the modes that the Thermomix offers, like basics, like egg boiler, blending, rice cooker, unique experiences like sous vide and high temperature, homemade special. And since we talked about the yogurt, Natalia, and you inspired me too, let's just take a look at the fermentation video. I'm not quite sure how well you can see it on my screen, but if you have a TM, so it plays music, so you can do a little dance while you're cooking and learn more about the modes.
Love it.
And the videos are just about a minute long, but the nice thing is if you scroll down, it gives you suggestions of what recipes are using this, in this case, fermentation mode. And so if you've ever been curious about the sous vide, about the slow cook, this takes you by the hand, guides you through the mode, and also suggests some recipes that you can do in those modes. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I mean, did you know that your Thermomix can play music? I think that's always a nice thing to learn.
That was a fun discovery.
Yes. You said you had questions?
I have been answering all of them, and we're being asked for the links to you guys. So we are going to share those. There will be an email out after the class. Yes, and you guys can follow Natalia and Taina on their social media for sure. They have great content to share. So yes.
Yes. And maybe we also can share that if you are not yet a Thermomix customer or part of the community, there's different ways of joining. So of course you can purchase or invest in a Thermomix, because it's really not a purchase, it's an investment. Or you can join us as a consultant and earn your Thermomix. So if you do not have a Thermomix yet, you can earn yours with just 4 new customers, finding 4 new customers. And I feel we all have a broad circle of friends. And if you already have a Thermomix, it has to be a TM6. You can also join as a consultant and earn beautiful gifts. And maybe we can go back to Natalia and she can show you what consultants can earn this month with just a single sale.
Yes, we love that. So let's go back. Can we? Yeah.
Can we?
Do you need to finish your your recipe, Taina, or that was the end?
Yeah,
I
so
forgot.
I can just take it out and pour
Okay.
it in a bowl. So that's
Ah,
the
okay.
only step
While you're
that is
doing
left
that,
for me.
maybe I can
Mhm.
show what the gift is right now that you were talking about.
Okay,
Yes.
so let me go back. Now, Natalia, now we can see
We're
you.
going back
Okay.
and forth. We're playing tango here. This is the new accessory. It's not out yet.
Mhm.
Consultant are the only one receiving this as we go, because with one sale in March, you can get this for free. It's called the
Mhm.
sensor. It's a thermometer
Mhm.
and it's attached to Thermomix. Basically, recipes will tell you you want to use the timer or you want to use the sensor. And then if you say use the sensor, it goes through Bluetooth and it will tell you when it's ready. You just stick it
Mhm.
in to whatever you're cooking. It could be meat, it could be bread, it could be cakes, whatever it is, fish. You just put it in. There's videos that show you how to put it in. And then this will attach and you can slide it through. You can
Mhm.
attach this to the frame or whatever you're using, the cake pan, so that
Mhm.
you need to make sure it doesn't sink into the dough. For example, if you're making especially if you're making a cake, that it's a little bit liquidy before it starts cooking. So everything has been thought of. You can put it in straight or you can put it like that. And this is just a gift right now to consultant. So even if you own a Thermomix, you can join our team and become a consultant. You join directly with your Thermomix. You make a sale in March, you get this for free. And then
Mhm.
hopefully it will be on the market for customer very soon. We don't have a date. It's
Mhm.
starting to roll out. Actually, not even in Europe. Right now, only consultant in Europe can get this too.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it will come soon. But if you want it early, that's what we're doing right now. So I already baked tons of banana breads, my famous Swiss carrot cake, which is really yummy. And I'm waiting for Thermomix USA or Cook I Do USA to put it in English because it's a great recipe. And it's
Mhm.
finally cooking perfectly without me checking like 5 times at the end of the recipe if it's cooked. I
Yes.
don't need to do that anymore because my oven is a bit iffy. So
Mhm.
yes, that's what it is. My recipe will be finished in 1 minute. And actually,
Okay.
what I wanted to say earlier, the gnocchi that I'm making, they're not the regular Italian gnocchi. They're not the potato gnocchi. I'm
Mhm.
sure you've been listening, but of course, when you make potato gnocchi, which you can make the dough in the Thermomix, you have to lay them down, and it's not as sticky, and it's a little bit harder. So you form the little gnocchi with a little knife, and then you just
Mhm.
cook them in the water. But just just to make it, that's why these are sticky because it's ricotta
Mhm.
in there. So it's and just a little bit of flour. I
Mhm.
can show actually, sorry, my finished salad.
The salad. Oh, nice.
That's amazing.
I added avocado and I added the dressing and
Mhm.
I added the almond and the chia seed. You don't get to see the almond and the chia seed and the avocado because it's all mixed up, but it's really yummy and it's very fresh. And I can't wait to eat it tonight.
It's a beautiful combination of colors, and I can imagine that it's a combination of
Flavor
consistencies or
and
the crunchiness of them. Soft with
yes,
the avocado, creamy with the dressing, crunchy with
yeah.
the veggies. So I love it.
And I actually like the avocado touch too because it's a little mushy and it's refreshing too. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely a good my um gnocchi should be ready.
Okay.
I'm sure you know when you open the varoma. I'm not facing my Thermomix right now because I'm doing the class, but you always open it facing the back, right? Not open it up
Mm-hmm.
in front of you because you can get injured. So you just go
Mm-hmm.
like that quickly, and then you can put it
Mm-hmm.
down. And then what I usually do, I just put it over so that the steam is not going everywhere. So
Wow.
that's it. The sauce. Ooh, that was hot. The
Careful. Be
sauce is
careful.
ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try to serve them in my platter, and maybe meanwhile, Taina can show her gnocchi. I mean, her rice.
Risotto.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So let's go back to Taina.
So the
Let's have a look
risotto,
at that risotto. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the risotto is very green. Very healthy. And of course, you're adding the Parmesan cheese, which we shredded in the beginning to make it even more scrumptious. And if you want, you can add a little bit of butter to it. And then it's really up to you if you want to decorate it with shaved Parmesan, which I don't have. I always love adding arugula on my risottos, even just the basic Parmesan risotto. After it's cooked, if you just mix some arugula into it, it just gives it a little bit of a spice and a flavor. And this is, if you can see, this is the finished product, and it's delicious, and it's healthy, and it's nutritious. It was fast and easy, and a bargain on top of it. If you order a spinach risotto at a restaurant, you will pay much, much more. So the beautiful thing is that the Thermomix really acts like a money maker. It's a money making machine if you use it. And every Thermomix wants to be touched about twice a week at least. Otherwise, they get very sad. And if you need any inspiration, if you need any recipe recommendation, then please contact your consultant. All we want to do is make sure that you are utilizing the Thermomix to its potential, because that's what it's made for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
It looks delicious and green and healthy, Taina.
Yes, it is. Very good.
So we have one question in the chat. Well, we have a couple of comments in the chat. Everybody's very appreciative of what you guys are sharing with us tonight. So thank you,
Natalia, and you get a nice sunset in the back.
Oh, yes. I can see that now. Beautiful.
Nice.
Yes. So somebody, where is that? Giselle has still waiting for the cutter. Thank you again for your patience, Giselle. We, just between us, girls, we heard on conference a couple of weeks ago that we will have good news pretty soon. So we don't know. We don't have a date yet. But I believe finally production is ramping up, and we should be able to have the cutter available for everybody. So bear with us. As soon as we know, we will let you know. And that's why it's so important to keep in touch with your consultant, because the consultant is the one that will learn about it and will let you know right away. Yeah. And again, one more question. Giselle also was asking if we can go back to the bottom of the screen, Taina, that you were sharing, what people can see at the bottom of their screen when they are looking at their the recipe, you know. On
you mean search. The cook I do?
The cook I do.
Yes. So, and you can do that on your phone. You can do that on your computer, or you can do it on here. So if you scroll down, you have new collections. There's always new collections here. And if you don't know it, you can also search for a collection. You can put in the search bar, for example, bread. And then when you see the result, click on the left side on the error, and there's the option recipes, which is default, or collections. And so you can save an entire bread collection with just one click. So there's always spotlighted recipes. There's, for example, cooking with chicken. Oh, on the computer, there's some more. Oh, wait, okay. I don't know how to get to the others. The modes explained, editor's picks. And I feel like whenever you see a different image of Cook I Do on the very top, Claudia actually changes her Facebook profile to show off the new design. There's always something different. So I encourage you, whenever you see a new theme, just scroll down, and pretty sure you'll find something that is interesting, because it's carefully curated. And a while ago, there was like the 140 years of Vorwerk video shown in here. So it's always fun to discover new things. And that's really what Thermomix is all about, to discover recipes that you maybe have never cooked in your life.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much, Taina. And I think we can go back to Natalia. I have a feeling that those gnocchi are ready to be enjoyed.
I decided to
Um,
put them on a plate instead of on the whole platter because I
it's
want it to be
so green,
faster.
Natalia.
I
So
know, right?
green.
Yeah, and then you
Wow.
just put the sauce on top and a little bit of cheese, and that's it. Yeah, and
Delicious.
green
Wow.
and green. I have
Mm-hmm.
both my green plates tonight
Love it.
and
Love it.
tomorrow
Love it.
because this will be leftover lunch at work.
And a
Excellent.
great green dessert is, for example, the mint chocolate chip ice cream, but we don't have time for that today. So you will have to explore that on your own.
Yes, definitely. I was thinking today about matcha green tea flan. I
Ah,
think I'm
that's a
gonna
good
start
idea.
playing with that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. Everything looks delicious. And one last
Thank you.
question. Barbara is asking if the splash guard is available. It
It,
comes with your TM6. When you purchase your TM6, it's one of the accessories that it came with. So you don't need to buy it unless you lost it and maybe it went away in the box. You didn't realize that it was there. If you need to buy it, it can be purchased at the Thermomix e-shop, yeah, if needed. But it
Yeah,
should be there.
and it fits the TM5 because it's the
Mm-hmm.
same size bowl.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you guys again. So I'm gonna say good night to everybody who joined us, but
thank you.
I'm gonna stop recording and say bye, everybody. Say bye, Taina. Say bye, Natalia.
Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you for
coming and for joining us.
Enjoy, and
Yeah.
cheers. And we're happy to answer any questions. That's what we do. That's what we love to do.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank